IT in the D, only on rawradiox.com.
Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I was banging on the wang.
Woo!
This is the ladies' man.
Woo! I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so I'm...
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Woo!
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
Woo!
Should I keep going or should I stop?
Woo!
How much scotch did you drink that night, by the way?
Half a bottle.
Okay, then shut the hell up.
Woo!
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
Woo! Woo!
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it.
Woo!
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Woo!
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
You're so white right now.
Woo!
Shut up. Stop talking.
Woo!
How are we not sponsored by PBR and Slim Jim yet? Damn it.
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumba Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Woo!
Yeah, I can't take that position.
Woo!
I don't know who brought that bell in, but Bob's got a new toy.
Guess Captain Soundboard doesn't know how to run the soundboard.
Woo!
Are we at a break yet?
Woo!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
And a very special, happy Veterans Day here at the IT and the D show here at Raw Radio X Studios. Beautiful live Midtown Detroit, Michigan. As always.
And Bob is back in studio.
I am back in studio.
Welcome back.
I'm not in Minneapolis tonight. I am in the studio.
Live and in the flesh.
So this is episode 19, Canadian Legal. Can I call it that? This is Bob the Sales Guy. As always, we're joined by Dave the Geek, Jeff the Voice of Reason. We got a packed show today. We got a bunch of goofy stories to talk about, local and national. Life is good.
Yeah, so Bob, you're back not only from Minneapolis, but also from the fun and excitement of Saturday, and we threw it out on our the Facebook page, so it's a big secret.
Yeah, Bob, what happened?
I have another child.
Yeah, congratulations.
With my name.
You didn't name her Karma.
Yeah, exactly. Daughter number 3, and you didn't name her Karma.
We went on Maury Povich already. The child is mine. We're good.
You are the father.
I am. I looked down upon her and said, do you realize I am your father? And then she started crying. But yeah, no, we gave birth.
Just like the other kids.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Do you realize I'm your dad? Like, no, that's not true.
That's impossible.
So yeah, we gave birth to a beautiful.
We.
You were there. I think
it was a team effort.
Yeah. No, that's usually my line. Like, you guys had a kid. Like, no, she did. I just watched.
Did you do the slow? Yeah, I was there. The slow clap.
I did. I
was there for the fun part. That's
I did.
It's a spectator sport after that.
Right. I did tell the doctor. I go, you know, if it's a girl, just give me the thumb so I can blow on it until it pops out. And he didn't think it was too funny. I did.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, why are you trying to give her mouth to mouth? I'm just blowing really hard.
Exactly. When does this thing supposed to pop out? But yeah, no, she gave birth to a beautiful daughter around 10 in the morning. Annalisa Ella. She's like 6.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
congratulations, man.
That's it's cool, and I look forward to not sleeping for the next 6 months.
Exactly. I was going to be evil. There were 2 things I was going to include in the intro that I decided against. One was the sound of a baby crying for about 30 seconds, and the other was the Family Guy vasectomy song that I was going to.
Yeah, that's all they talked about was, oh yeah, you got to go to this urology doctor. You just smell burning flesh for a minute, and then you're out, and you just. Awesome! I
Frickin'
can't wait.
laser beams.
It is. You just don't do anything that night. Sit on a bag. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
It's really all it is. I
Just buy a bag of condoms. You'll be fine.
Next topic.
He didn't do it in high school. He's not doing it now.
So yeah, Bo is listening in the hospital room right now. Hey, babe.
Hi, Bo.
Hi, Bo. Congratulations.
But no, so we do have a couple guests in studio. We've got Matt, and I'm going to take a wing at your last name. Is it Oehrlein?
That's amazing.
Really?
That's probably the best first attempt I've ever heard.
So it's still wrong, but
no, it's good. No,
that was like a non-answer.
no, that was good. And it's a German last name, and I think it's in Germany or native whatever. It's supposed to have like an umlaut, so I think it's supposed to be like
Oehrlein.
Oehrlein.
It's like Mishapreneur.
Captain Waltonspiel.
Yeah, no.
So
Oehrlein. Is it like, how do you spell it? O-E?
It's O-E-H-R.
Yeah, it'd be O umlaut. Like the O-E is O umlaut.
Yeah.
So the E would get... Yeah. German talk here at IT and the D.
Yeah.
And then we've got HerShe the Entertainer in with us. And I've known HerShe for a while now, and she's a comedian, she's an actress, she's a choir girl, or...
Porn star.
Well, the website is HerSheDoesItAll.com. And
I don't do them all anymore. I converted.
No, when I found out her website was Hersh Does It All, I'm like, hey, can you paint my house? She's like, I don't do that. I'm like, well, you got to change your website then. You don't do it all.
Hersh does most of it.
It's false advertising.
I don't want to paint. I don't want to do...
Right, and Matt, you're with I3 Detroit, which is...
That's right.
And how do you phrase it? Is a co-working space?
It's well, I call it a hacker space, and I think a lot of people would call it a hacker space. It's sort of synonymous with makerspace, if you've heard of that too.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a big warehouse. It's full of tools. So like we've got a machine shop and a wood shop and an electronics lab and all kinds of crazy stuff from laser cutters to 3D printers and stuff like that. And people pay a monthly fee and they get a key to this building where
access to really big toys.
Yeah, really big, dangerous.
Sounds
toys.
like an adult playground.
Yeah, it's
not those kind of toys.
So HerShe has got other ideas.
Yeah, nice.
I think we have had people make sex toys there. So if you're into that.
Now what website is that? Come and say it again.
i3detroit.org.
Actually, we got a buddy of mine that does 3D printing sex toys. That's part of it. It's probably him. Is it?
Wave of the future, man.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of
custom designed,
you know what he said? Like, get your custom designed 3D printed. Like you can like Justin Bieber's head.
Well,
like,
who was it? Wasn't it Scotty that used to do the full body casts? And apparently there was that whole he had the booty lounge. And then his other business was the full body cast.
Oh yeah,
that he would
plaster casting women's chests.
Right.
Well, speaking of 3D printers, McDonald's was actually considering installing
3D printing McNuggets because it would be the same thing.
it would be the same. No, I mean installing 3D printers at their locations for the Happy Meal toys,
freshly extruded right in front of you.
Right? Yeah.
I just that just extruded just sounds like a bad word. Yeah. I called it. I autographed it. It's mine.
It's mine.
So Dave, I'm relying on you since I have not been like reading news. I've not kept up with like anything kooky going on. The only thing I did watch the Anthony Bourdain special last night. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, we can dive into that.
Well, and there's a whole like divergent series of thoughts where either it was the best show ever or Bourdain is French for douchebag. Like, there's no middle of the road.
I don't know how you don't like the guy. I mean, he calls it. He says it like it is, and obviously he's got a TV show and parts unknown. So he's not going to go to he's not going to talk to Gilbert. He's not going to Greektown.
Right.
I get that.
But apparently we live in a world where we get our news from a stand-up comic on Comedy Central every night, and we get our news from a chef. That's the world we live in now.
Didn't he equate Detroit to Chernobyl?
Yeah. That was his opening line. Like,
that was his
I have
opening
not seen
line.
anything like this since Chernobyl. I'm like,
I mean, if you visit Detroit and all you do is go to the Packard plant, I mean, what do you expect?
But then he ended the show with "It's my favorite city in the world." Like,
Whatever.
wait, what?
That's like trying to satisfy all audiences.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times show that was on.
No, he goes to like the people that barbecue on the front porch. I see him in Pontiac all the time.
Greedy Greg.
Greedy Greg. Yeah. And
what channel is that? I love this. This show sounds awesome.
It was on CNN
last night. To watch it.
It was good. But he's talking about how it was like the best greens he's ever had on the planet was out of this person's house. Yeah,
that may be true.
And then he went to like a pop-up restaurant called like Guns and Butter.
Right, the guy that came out of New York.
Yeah, he's like a Michelin-rated chef. And
right,
wanted
apparently it was either open a 300-seat restaurant in Vegas or do a little pop-up in Detroit, and he chose to do the pop-up in Detroit, which is cool, but do you need a pop-up in Detroit that's serving $150 plates? Really?
But here's the best part.
Yeah, what's your target market?
He's with Charlie LaDuff right now. I like Charlie.
Yeah, who apparently was dumping gin in his soup.
He
that was
outstanding. Well, because they're getting into all this like fancy gazpacho, and LaDuff's like, there's 3 food groups in my life, like whiskey, beer, and cigarettes.
Right. Yeah.
And he dumps gin in the soup, and Bourdain looked
always in that order.
Right, and Bourdain looked like he just smacked his mother. Like,
oh yeah, didn't he? What did he call him? He's the.
I didn't know what that meant.
The complete Philistine.
What is that? I don't know what that. I'm like, he's Jewish. What? No, I didn't know what that word meant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where's that bell?
Yeah, they're basically just calling him very uncultured.
Oh, well, you're in Detroit. Like, what did you expect? And he didn't go to like I'd say go to.
No, he didn't go to Hockey Town Cafe. He didn't go.
He's not going to go to any hipster bar. He's not going to go to any trendy bar.
Right.
That's not the whole.
And
point
I get
of the show.
whole parts I know, but then again, it's like, why would you go?
But if we could have just got him to Park Bar and Bucharest Grill for the shawarma, it would have been a whole different show.
But why would you go urban splunking though? He's like diving in the Packard plant, talking to homeless guys.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Really?
Because it's all about ratings for the show.
I don't know.
If he would have went to Starvin' Marvin's, he would have definitely loved Detroit more.
Starvin' Marvin's?
He definitely would have loved it.
What is Starvin' Marvin's?
It has girls and...
Oh, nice.
He would have definitely loved it more. Hit that bell. He would have loved it more.
I'm sure LaDuff probably took him there.
You
Safe
never
bet.
been? I'm going to take you. Next week, Starvin' Marvin's.
But the way that the show ended, I was like, it was a little anticlimactic. What was your whole point of coming here? And then our favorite, Tom, he's like, hey, here's some white guys that come down here and cut grass on the weekends.
Right, exactly. Let's give them an award and put them on posters and give them the key to the city because you cut grass.
And while I respect what Tom's doing, it's like...
Yeah, don't get us wrong, Tom. We love you, but really.
You're cutting grass. and cut grass just don't... It's like kind of like the athlete that writes the $100,000 check for March of Dimes but has a press conference to do it. It's like, just do it. Just do it. No, we don't need to have it.
Is there a Nike swoosh on the side of the mowers yet?
No, but he's sponsored by, what is it, the Steel?
He's wearing jerseys, though, and baseball caps. That's what it is.
One of the German...
He's got a patch on the shoulder.
He's sponsored by some big lawn company. He gets one of the restaurants is you come here and eat afterwards for free. It's a little much.
What do you get for making grass? Do you get an award for that? Like producing grass?
Some people do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I think that was the room. That was the room next door that the cops raided.
Yeah,
they were making a whole lot of grass in there.
Yeah, that was the grow room.
No, but the one place...
I think you get a Cheech and Chong sequel. If
Apparently there's a 90-year-old Coney that I've never been to called Dooley's.
D-U-L-Y.
Yeah, and I need to go. It looked really good. 24 hours, they said the best time to go is like 4:30 in the morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a caller coming in. Let's see how this goes. Hey, this is the IT and the D show. Who's this?
This is Russ. Good morning.
Hey, Russ. What's going on, man?
Good morning.
Thank you for your service.
You're coming a little early, but I guess that's normal for you. So what's going on?
Yeah, I called it about 15 minutes early just so you can say that.
So speaking of Starvin' Marvin, you're calling in from Ethiopia. How's it going?
Oh, God.
There's a whole South Park reference, Starvin' Marvin. So how's life over in Ethiopia, man?
It's definitely interesting.
So,
for those of us that don't know,
Phil,
exactly.
Phil.
For those of you keeping score at home, so Russ is the guy who a couple years ago, when we were we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do with our end of the year Detroit Net event to kind of do something cool. We were having just the world's worst time hooking up with Toys for Tots. They were just a giant pain in the ass to deal with, and Russ overheard us talking about this at the Blackfin one night. I think it was like September, and he said, "Hey, look, I hope you don't mind or think I'm overstepping my bounds or anything, but what do you think about? I still know guys that are boots on ground over in Afghanistan. What if we do something for them and their families and that kind of stuff?" We were like, "Absolutely, we're all in." So the last couple years we've done our Support the Troops event, and the first year we did, gathered a whole bunch of money and 15, 20
like a
iPods.
whole box full of iPads.
Yeah, and sent a whole bunch of stuff overseas to guys. We got one of our T-shirts blown up by the Taliban bastards. And the way we tell the story is that our T-shirts valiantly threw themselves on an IED to save American soldiers' lives. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. And so coming up this year, though, Russ is not around to help us organize stuff, so God only knows how this is going to work out. But it's because...
You need to call Major.
Is he listening? Am I allowed to say you told me not to call Major?
But no, you can't count on him for any organizational skills.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But no, so Russ is back on active duty. He's over in Ethiopia, and oddly enough, it's not what we've seen in a South Park